Calvin.
Keeping him up there.
I'll send someone up.
Never mind. Take me up. On the way down. Come on. I want to talk to you.
You went up there with blood in your eye.
No.
Now, I'm quoting direct testimony here from
I was sore, sure.
You had a violent argument.
I have 20 a day.
You found out about him and your daughter, didn't you?
He was married. She was 18, a baby.
Answer the question.
Well, what do you think I went up there for, the view?
Now, you say he knocked you down.
Yeah.
What did you do then?
Nothing. I just...
You asking us to believe that he knocked you down and you did nothing?
Yes.
You didn't hit him back?
No.
Didn't throw something at him?
No.
You didn't push him?
No, 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 no!
Fitzgerald residence. Mrs. Fitzgerald?
Yes,
Telephone!
coming. Don't set it in yet, caller. I'll be right back. Hello, Frank. Listen, I sent those documents on to Washington. When? Are the police there? All right, don't answer any questions. Don't say anything till I get there. What's the address? I'll be there in 20 minutes. All right, Frank. Yes, I'll call her. Remember, nothing to anyone.
Watch it, here she comes.
Oh, Miss Fitzgerald.
Hello, Sid.
You got a client there?
Yes.
Can you give us a statement?
Sure. What subject would you like?
Crime and punishment?
Just say I'm opposed to both.
Oh.
All right, officer.
Miss Fitzgerald, your client's in that check.
Thanks, Sergeant. How's the new baby?
Oh, getting fat and sassy. Cut his first tooth yesterday. Miss Fitzgerald, I'm going to want to ask him some questions.
Give me a few minutes alone. Do you have any identification?
Ray Carson, ironworker, age 26.
Brash. Cocky. Like no one ever walked steel before. I guess that's what burned me about him, too. And the way he talked about Chris, like he owned her. That sweet, open kid. And this cheap punk booming from job to job, dame to dame.
You said he was married.
Oh, there's always a wife in the background sweeping up empty beer cans.
What did you say to him?
I told him he was through, to keep his filthy hands off her.
And how did he take it?
How do you think?
Did you hit him?
No. He must have caught me, though, because I guess I went down.
And then what?
I tried to get up. Or... I can't remember. Just can't we get out of here? I need a drink.
Frank, did the police know anything about this, about Chris, about what happened up there?
I don't think so.
Any witnesses?
I don't know.
All right, now, Mr. Gelvin, just a couple of things we'd like to know.
I don't want my client to answer any questions right now, Sergeant,
Why not?
because he's under a great strain.
Look, all I want to do is find out what happened,
I
yes?
prefer to take him home, if you have no objection.
Is that a question, Mrs. Fitzgerald?
Do you have enough to make an arrest, Sergeant? We can take my car. I'll have yours driven back after I...
Chris, what's she doing here? Chris? Chris, wait!
Let her go.
Chrissy!
And you'll notice this month, 90% occupancy, which is nothing to be sneezed at in times like these, and in comparison with other buildings in this general area.
Oh, that's fine, Mr. Stewart.
You'll also notice no unusual expenses. 419 and 336 wanted new carpet, but I talked them into letting me clean it till next year. We should all live and be well.
Good, Mr. Stoller.
Oh, I wanted to mention about 407. He keeps breaking the glass on his door.
Fine, Mr. Stoller. Anything you say, Mr. Stoller. I have complete confidence in the way you run this building.
That's what your father used to say. It's only glass, but 407.
Oh.
But glass doesn't grow on trees, so I'm going to talk to him.
You do that, Mr. Stoller.
I've been trying to get you.
I stopped by the DA's office. Did Frank Galvin call this morning?
Yes, and Mrs. Galvin twice so far. Here's the other calls. Do you know you're doing court in an hour?
Yes, I do.
Mrs. Galvin on one.
Fran, call Harold Mendelson. Find out if he has any free time to work with me on a case. I'll have to know today.
I'll get back to you.
Stella? Gone. Gone where? And Stella, please don't panic. They both need you. I'll get back to you later. Fran, call Jack Mertz.
Who's missing?
Chris Galvin. She left home this morning in a taxi cab. Tell him I have to find her today.
Okay, well, Harold Mendelson sends his regrets. He'd like to help you out, but he's got a full calendar. There is someone, though, that he could recommend highly. Augustus Pride.
Pride?
P-R-I-D-E.
As long as it isn't pronounced arrogant.
Very cool, he says. Very sharp. I think the exact quote was, he's a tiger in court.
Criminal court?
4 years in the public defender's office. 3 months at Beale, Horwitz, and Gold. Then opened his own office.
Did he give you a phone number?
Yes, 475-1510.
And an address?
1700 Spring Street.
But that's our address. I mean, his.
What I said, 1700 Spring Street. Office 407.
Mr. Pride, I'm Jesse Fitzgerald.
I know. He already talked to me about that. Glass doesn't grow on trees, huh?
I'm willing to stipulate to that. May I come in?
Sure. Oh. Would you like to sit down?
Thank you. Harold Middleton suggested I talk to you. He thinks very highly of you.
Well, I don't know why.
Did you win a case from him?
Mm-hmm. 2.
I figured that. He wouldn't have been impressed if you'd lost. He mentioned you were with Gold, Horwitz, and Beale.
For about 20 minutes.
It's a good firm. Big.
Too big. I want to practice law, not diplomacy.
How's your time? Busy?
Oh, divorce here and embezzlement there, you know.
How would you feel about a murder?
Murder? You mean the Galvin case?
Mm-hmm.
Have they filed?
Not yet, but there's every indication they will.
What have they got besides a body?
Motive, witnesses who'll testify to anger and intent, evidences of a struggle, and probably more they haven't told me about.
How's your case?
I don't know yet. Frank Galvin's been my client for 10 years. More. He's tough, difficult, high-handed, but he's honest. Sometimes to a fault. He tells me he's innocent.
Of course.
Mr. Pride, I'm winding a case in court, and I need some help on this one. Are you interested?
Well, what does that mean exactly? I mean, there's a lot of good clerks around. Cheap.
I want an associate, Mr. Pride, not a bargain. The fee is open.
Oh, no, it's not the fee. It's just that... Well, you know, I've never worked with...
A woman?
Oh, a man, a chimpanzee. I've just always worked alone, you know.
Why don't we both think about it?
I've thought about it. I have an appointment with Mr. Galvin. This is Fitzgerald calling.
Oh, yes, Mr. Pride. Mr. Galvin's expecting you. You're to go right in.
Jesse tells me you're working with her, Mr.
Pride.
Says you're pretty good, are you?
Well, I never argue on that subject.
Now, what's all this about a statement? I gave her all that last night.
Yes, sir, I read it. It's all right as far as it goes. It's just a preliminary statement. I feel there's a few more areas that need...
I have nothing to add.
well, maybe you don't think so, sir. I suggest you let me ask you a few questions, just to jog your memory.
What kind of questions?
About the conversation between you and the victim at the top of the building. What happened to you before you got to the building? Your relationship with your daughter.
That's nobody's business.
Mr. Gowan, if you don't mind, I'd like to have one more minute of your time, because what I got to say, I think I can say pretty fast. If I had to defend you on what I know now, I'd rate your chances as not very good. In fact, I would rate them lousy. Now, the police have a dead body. They got a coroner's report on whatever that body can tell them. They have SID men checking fingerprints, footprints, checking every detail. They have detectives interviewing any possible witnesses. Now, we may not know everything about what you talked about before you went up that elevator or what you said, but they do. And what they're doing right now is adding it all up to see if they can tell why you went up there yesterday and if they can prove it. Now, against all that, a defense lawyer's got one weapon. The story his client gives him and the evidence he can find to support it. Now, I don't mind a good fight, Mr. Gowan, but not without some decent odds.
What do you want to know?
First, what you were thinking about when you drove over to see Ray Carson on the job.
What difference does that make?
Sometimes the difference between accidental death and murder. Now, you said you learned about your daughter and Ray Carson from your wife, and you went over to where he was working. What did you intend to do? Talk to him, see him?
Fire him.
Couldn't your foreman do that?
No, I wanted the pleasure of doing that myself.
Why? To punish him? To hurt him? It was the end of the day. Everyone was coming down. Why didn't you wait for him?
I did.
How long?
I don't know.
What, a minute? 5 minutes? 10 minutes? What?
When you're seething, you don't think about things like...
What do you think about? That he's up there, alone, on an unprotected floor?
No, that's not what I meant.
Someone could have gone up there and told him you were waiting.
Yes, but...
But you prefer to go up rather than have him come down.
What is this, some kind of third degree or something?
No, Mr. Galvin, just the kind of questions the prosecuting attorney is going to ask you.
Well, let's stop playing games. You're not the prosecuting attorney, and I don't need to... Yes?
Mrs. Fitzgerald on 2.
Hello, Jesse. You better take it.
Yes?
They just filed. Murder. You'll have to bring him in.
Bail on a murder charge? Mrs. Fitzgerald, you surprised me.
Come on, Vincent. This isn't a murder one case. You haven't a prayer of premeditation.
One man's premeditation is another man's poison. Or woman's.
Well, I'll embroider that on a pillow with needlepoint. But right now, I've got a client sitting in jail with types, rapists, and thieves.
But what makes him any different? Money?
No responsibility. He's lived in this community for 15 years. He has roots, a business, a family. A man like that's not going to skip.
Oh, any man can skip.
Oh, woman, I know. Just think, sitting in jail, waiting for trial, you know what the papers will do with that, and by then the damage is done.
Very persuasive. But you really ought to tell your client that this isn't quite the same thing as having a traffic ticket fixed or paying off a license commission. This is murder. And I really am not very disposed to make concessions.
Your integrity overwhelms me.
The probation sentence will be made 2 weeks from today. People versus Galvin.
We'll waive further reading of the complaint and statement of rights. The defendant enters the plea of not guilty. At this time, I'd like to direct the court's attention to the question of bail. I want to point out that the defendant has every qualification to...
Pardon me, counsel, but as you know, the question of bail is dependent on the state's charges. Does the district attorney intend to ask for the death penalty?
Not at this time, Your Honor. However, in view of the seriousness the state views these charges with, I'd like to recommend bail be set at $100,000.
Man, that's a lot of bread. Did you see our client? He didn't bat an eye. Just call up the bank, kid, and order up a cashier's check and fast, will you, buddy?
Is that criticism or envy?
Let's just say I'm not a member of the Frank Galvin fan club.
What kind of witness will he make?
Argumentative. A short fuse. Lets himself get caught into damaging admissions. Besides which, I think he's lying.
About what?
I don't know. You come up to certain points and he clams up. Or blows up.
Well, maybe he's just blocking it out, or could be he's protecting somebody.
Oh, sure. Frank Galvin.
How about a cup of coffee?
Sure. What's wrong with the place around the corner?
There's a place across town. Passable coffee, but the service is interesting.
coffee?
Please. Chris, this is my associate, Mr. Pride.
If they sent you to come and get me, you can just forget it.
They didn't. They don't know where you are. And we could use some coffee.
I make $62 a week take home, not counting tips. I don't have to take his money. I don't have to see him or talk to him. And I'm not going back, Mrs. Fitzgerald, so if that's what you came here for, you can just forget it.
It isn't. That's your business. My business is your father and how to defend him. They've charged him with murder. I didn't want you picking up the papers and seeing it cold or have the police tell you.
I don't want to talk to them. To anybody.
Chris, this is not a private matter anymore. They're going to find you and they're going to ask questions. And your answers are very important to your father. Now, I'm not asking you to lie or hold back anything, but I have to know what happened. And that starts with Ray.
I was having lunch with my father. He had to stop by the job. I like going up to the top. There's something about the open steel before the walls go up. Ray was working up there. It was beautiful the way he moved. Like a trapeze artist or a bullfighter. On the edge of danger. Courting it. Thumbing his nose at it. Later on, it wasn't so beautiful. I got frightened for him. But he only laughed at me. He used to say that's what it's all about. Doing something that scares the hell out of everybody else.
We're having an affair.
Oh, that sounds like Mother.
Give me a better word.
We were in love. Ray had a motorcycle. We'd go out of town, find a place. I never knew anything like it. Then it got serious. Ray started to talk about leaving his wife.
Was that when you told your mother?
I didn't want to. But Ray insisted. He made me. He hated sneaking around. She broke her promise just like I knew she would. She told him.
I only know that your father loves you more than anything in this world.
That's easy, loving someone. What's hard is letting them be what they are. Not what you want them to be. He'll never understand that.
Look, Chris, nobody denies that your father has very strong feelings. But you don't believe for 1 minute that he'd do anything to harm you or even Ray.
He would have done anything to stop it.
Cagle is going to have a ball with that.
It's only an opinion.
Yeah, a damaging one, his daughter's.
She's a girl in a highly emotional state.
And very appealing.
To you, yes, I can understand that. I'm not so sure about a jury.
A lot more appealing than her father's going to be, believe me.
Maybe, maybe not. There are a lot more mothers and fathers on juries than rebellious daughters.
Oh, and you win with juries, is that it?
You win with the best case. Juries decide. We don't have to prove it was an accident. It's up to Cagle to prove it wasn't, beyond a reasonable doubt.
Oh, counsel, finding everything you need? We aim to cooperate.
See, you've been busy.
Yeah, we got around.
What is this item number 3 here on the evidence held report? A piece of steel pipe.
One of the officers found that up there, near where Carson's body's supposed to have fallen from.
Any prints?
Yeah. Galvin's. Huh. You know, I'm surprised to see you on a case like this, counsel. I mean, all those years in the defender's office, champion of the underdog and all that. I mean, that's not exactly a description of Frank Galvin, is it? Anyway, I thought you were going it alone.
I am.
Well, I suppose we all stoop to a little prostitution now and then. How are you getting on with the Portia of the Pacific?
You mean Mrs. Fitzgerald?
What, not Jessie yet? Oh, well, yeah, I suppose that comes a little later, along about the time when you find yourself carrying a briefcase and walking 2 steps behind.
What's the matter, Cagle? Is she too much lawyer for you?
It's funny, I was just going to ask you that.
This fuse was lit, brother. I knew somebody was gonna get it.
You see anything that went on at the top? Anybody?
Ask the police, huh?
Hey. How long was Ray Carson on this job?
Since it started. About 5 months.
Well, did he report sick or dizzy, anything like that?
Forget it, huh? Ironworkers are the prima donnas of the building trade. If it's a windy day, they don't go up. 2 drops of rain on a piece of paper and it's no dice. Yeah, but not Carson. Couldn't keep him down.
30 miles an hour's gotta be blowing, and this clown wants to go up. Come on, Obie, says to me, you ain't afraid of a little breeze, are you? So I told him, you gotta be out of your skull, man. That little breeze could blow us to Glendale and back. And I ain't risking my butt for no Galvin Construction Company just so some fat cat can buy a spoiled kid one of them imported Italian cars.
Did you know what was going on with Ray and Chris Galvin? Where were you that day? I mean, did you see anything that went on?
I've seen enough.
What do you mean enough?
I don't have to tell you nothing.
Who said that?
DA's office, not until we get into court.
Terrific.
Hey, Shyster. Hey, you lawyer! I'll tell you one thing. If Ray Carson ever looked at that goggle-eyed kid, it was because she was the boss's daughter and he got his kicks playing with fire. So he winds up splattered all over the pavement, and Galvin's home free, paying jokers like you to keep him that way. Well, you just wait till I get on the stand, hot shot, then watch him sweat.
This case is like swimming upstream, over Niagara Falls.
Oh, look, why don't we meet at my house? It's quiet there, no interruptions. We can have dinner, go over things.
So that's it. Statements, interviews, documentary evidence. 5 weeks and I'm nowhere. Not one thing that points to Ray Carson falling off that floor by himself. No record of absenteeism, depression, illness, drugs. No trace of alcohol in the bloodstream. No tools or cables on the work floor to trip over. Not one thing. Not wind, no rain.
Nothing but Frank Galvin.
Galvin? Ha! Who's he? As far as I'm concerned, he doesn't exist. I call, he's not at home. I call at his office, he's in conference. To me, he's just a name on a statement. And I can recite that statement by heart. Did you go up there mad? Yes. Did you hit him? No. Did he hit you? Yes. And then what? And then mush. Now, what kind of defense can you build on mush?
Do you shoot pool?
I spent the first 14 years of my life in a pool room. Why?
Not bad. Why don't you shoot that straight with me? You've had something on your mind all night. Say it.
All right. I can't see any way to defend Galvin.
What do you suggest? We plead him guilty? Manslaughter, maybe, 1 to 15?
I didn't say that.
Well, then what is it? Courtroom jitters? Or just that you don't like him?
You got to stand in line for that, Mrs. Fitzgerald. 5 weeks now, and I have not found one person that has a good word to say about him.
Since when is that a punishable offense? You don't have to like him. You just have to win his case.
It's important to you, isn't it?
Isn't it to you?
When I believe in what I'm doing, yes.
What kind of sentimental slop is that? You've defended shills, panders, crooks, everything on the books.
That's right. No matter what he is, everyone has a right to a decent defense.
Well, then why is this case different?
Because Frank Galvin hasn't even got the honest excuse of being a bum. He's a cold-blooded bully who's browbeaten his wife, alienated his daughter, his employees, anyone that's had anything to do with him. Except for some reason I can't understand you. Or is it just that money can buy anything?
That's what you've been trying to say all night, isn't it? You feel guilty somehow. The dirty-faced kid from the other side of the tracks who sold out to the bosses. So you've been provoking me, needling me, forcing me into doing something you couldn't do yourself. All right, you've got it. You're off the case. Through. Finished.
Ray, the whole thing happened because he wanted it to happen. He made it. He forced it.
Was that when you told your mother?
I didn't want to. But Ray insisted. He made me.
Ray insisted. He made me. You know, that kept bugging me. Why should he have insisted? That could only lead to a confrontation with Frank. It had to be he wanted that confrontation.
Like a trapeze artist or a bullfighter. On the edge of danger. Courting it, thumbing his nose at it.
Then today, I got lucky. I tracked down one of his old school teachers in Elkton, Kansas. She remembered Ray very well. And suddenly, it all began to fit together. The job, the motorcycle, the attraction to a girl who could only mean trouble, the constant need to live his life on the edge of a precipice, the whole pattern of his life, and his death.
Why didn't I see that?
You were doing the digging. That's too close.
I still don't like Frank Galvin. I know I don't have to like him. I just have to win his case. If I'm still on it.
Get your shot. Call it. Why is it the closer to heaven you get, the more insecure you feel?
Jesse, this is crazy. What are we doing up here? Let's get down.
No. Now, I know most of what happened up here, and I think I know why. But how?
I told you everything I remember. Don't you believe me?
It's not enough, Frank. Now, you came out of the elevator there, and he was where?
Up there.
And what was he doing?
Just sitting. He shinnied down that beam like a monkey.
And you told him he was through?
That's when he started on Chris. Said it was her came looking for him. Said she was climbing all over him. I wanted to choke the lies in his throat.
What did he do?
I don't know.
Try to remember, Frank.
Oh, I can't. My head was full of cotton. Only it weighed a ton. I couldn't lift it.
And then?
He was falling back. He looked surprised.
All right, Frank. Let's go down.
Department 120 Superior Court, State of California, County Los Angeles is now in session. The Honorable Randall E. Berkeley, Judge, presiding.
Dr. Mitchell, was there anything else that could have contributed to death, other than the fall itself?
Yes. There was evidence of multiple traumatic injuries to the head due to blunt force.
Could that force have come as the result of a blow from a blunt instrument, such as this?
It's possible.
I'm referring to a section of pipe previously marked People's Exhibit Number 2, found by a police sergeant near the scene of the struggle.
Objection. The prosecutor hasn't established that there was a struggle.
Sustained. The jury will disregard any reference to a struggle.
Would such traumatic injuries to the head have happened as a result of the fall itself?
Judging from the position in which the body was found, that's highly unlikely.
Thank you. Your witness.
Dr. Mitchell, you said that a blow to the head could have been delivered by a piece of pipe like the one the prosecutor just showed us?
Yes?
I have a police photo here taken of the side of the building where the deceased fell, with the angle of the fall diagrammed by one of their experts. Now, Dr. Mitchell, do you see protrusions sticking out of the side of the building?
I see several, yes.
Well, if the head of the deceased hit any one of these on the way down, it could cause the same kind of blow you're talking about.
It's possible.
Thank you.
And you clearly saw this in Galvin's hand?
Yeah, after the elevator stopped. He had it in his right hand, and I tell you, he meant business.
Objection, that's an opinion.
You're damned right that's an opinion.
Sustained.
The elevator stopped. Did it pick you up?
No,
Why was that?
because Mr. Galvin was in one big hurry.
Thank you. That'll be all.
Do you wish to cross-examine, counsel?
Not at this time.
Witness is excused.
The state calls Christine Galvin.
Here we go.
Let's just consider one thing, Miss Galvin. You were afraid to tell your father about you and Ray Carson.
Yes. I knew he'd be very angry.
He'd been very angry on other occasions.
Yes.
You were afraid that anger might erupt into physical violence.
Objection. Counsel is trying to lead the witness.
Sustained.
On the afternoon of June 19th, you spoke to Mrs. Fitzgerald on the phone. She told you there'd been trouble at the Sunset Building. Is that correct?
Yes.
What did you do then?
I drove over there.
I didn't hear that.
Would you speak up, Miss Galvin?
I drove over there. I saw the police. And then I found out it was Ray.
And your worst fears were confirmed.
Objection.
Sustained.
Miss Galvin, is it a fact that you no longer live in your parents' home?
Yes.
When did you move out?
The morning after the...
On the 20th of June?
Yes.
Have you talked to your father since?
No.
Now, that seems a very bitter estrangement. Is it because you think he had something to do with Ray Carson's death?
Objection.
Sustained.
Your witness, counsel.
Chris, is Frank Galvin your natural father?
No. He died when I was 4.
When your mother married Frank Galvin, he adopted you. And he's the only father you've ever known.
Yes.
Has he been good to you? By that I mean, has he given you a good home, education, advantages?
I never said he didn't.
I know that. Did he spend time with you? Was he interested in you?
I guess so.
So that these angry disagreements were mainly about independence. Is that a good word?
That'll do.
Did he ever strike you?
No.
Chris, I want you to take as much time as you need to think before you answer this. Did you ever see your father resort to physical violence with anyone? Or did you ever hear that he had?
No.
Would you say your father is a man with strong moral views?
I don't know what you mean by
For one
strong...
thing, does he think that a married man should be faithful to his wife?
Oh. Yes.
Do you think that kind of morality is wrong?
It isn't a question of right or wrong. It's not important. Loving someone doesn't have to do with marriage and laws.
Did Ray Carson tell you he was in love with you?
Yes.
Did he talk about marriage?
Yes, but it didn't matter. I would have gone on the way we were.
But Ray was the one who insisted you tell your parents about this relationship. Is that right?
Yes.
Well, didn't you warn him that your father might react very strongly against this? That he might try to stop this relationship?
Yes.
But he still insisted.
Yes.
Then Ray Carson was not surprised when your father appeared at the top of that building. As a matter of fact, he'd have been very surprised if he hadn't appeared.
Objection. That calls for an opinion by the witness.
Sustained.
Defense calls Mrs. Lillian McWhorter.
Raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
State your name and spell your last.
Lillian McWhorter. M-C-W-H-O-R-T-E-R. And in the school yearbook, they named him the boy most likely to explode.
Well, that's a new one.
Well, I ought to explain.
Yes?
At the 4th of July picnic, you know cherry bombs, how you light them, throw them down on the ground, and they explode? Not Ray's. His always went off in the air.
Why was that?
Because he held on to his till the last possible second. Just when you thought he was going to blow his hand off. That's when he threw it away. That boy.
Then you'd say, as a boy, Ray liked to take chances.
Objection. That calls for a conclusion.
Sustained.
Mrs. McWhorter, what else do you remember about Ray?
Well, one thing, he was as smart as a whip. He could pass any exam. But he used to sneak the answers from anyone sitting next to him. It was as if he was always testing to see how far he could go without getting caught or punished.
Or hurt?
Yes.
Thank you. Your witness.
Oh, Mrs. McWhorter, certainly in 30 years of teaching, you must have come across quite a few boys, normal, healthy boys who held on to firecrackers too long or tried to get away with things in class. Wouldn't you say that there'd have to be much more bizarre behavior than that to qualify as in any way abnormal?
You mean like the snake?
The snake?
Yes. All the other kids had dogs and rabbits. He had a pet snake.
Well, I seem to remember having a little pet garter snake myself.
This was a rattler. He kept it in a glass cage, and he used to tease it so it would strike
Thank you very much, Mrs. McWhorter. You may step down. That'll be all.
Defense calls the wife of the deceased, Mrs. Ray Carson.
Raise your right hand. Solemnly swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God. Be seated, please. State your name and spell your last.
You were married how long, Mrs. Carson?
6 years.
Did you know about your husband and Chris Galvin?
Yes.
Was he aware that you knew?
We didn't talk about it.
Did you think it was serious?
No.
Why?
They never were.
Then your husband had other involvements. How many? 2? 3? More?
More.
Did you find it difficult to live with him, knowing that?
When you're married to a man like Ray, you don't let it bother you.
You say a man like Ray. What do you mean by that?
I object. Counsel is leading the witness into discrediting her own husband.
And I object to Mr. Cagle's objection. He's using it to coach the witness into a position he wants her to take.
The witness can take any position
Come
she
on,
wants, Your
Vincent,
Honor.
that's a pretty
This
dirty
whole line of
trick.
questioning is
Your
irrelevant,
Honor.
Your Honor.
The deceased patterns of behavior have a direct bearing on the issues involved.
All right. I'll allow it subject to motion to strike if it appears to be irrelevant. The witness will answer the question.
I know that talking about any of this isn't easy. But you were married to a man for 6 years. No one knows him better than you. I assure you it's no disloyalty to him if you answer my question. You said a man like Ray. What does that mean?
He had to keep proving things.
Proving things. You mean his bravery? His virility? His manhood?
I used to think it was to everybody else. But it was to himself. Like most men.
Wouldn't you say more than most men? Wasn't your husband's whole life, his job, even his sexual performance, more and more linked to the excitement of risk, of danger, so that higher buildings, faster cars, the daughter of an angry and powerful boss? Mrs. Carson, is it possible that the man who waited for Frank Galvin at the top of the building that day was still that boy holding a firecracker? Only this time, he let it blow up in his hand.
I thought it went pretty good.
That's what bothers me. He's too relaxed.
Who, Kegel?
It's not his style. Even that fight today, he just went through the motions.
Yeah, well, maybe he's mellowing. What are you going to do?
Go home, work on my closing argument.
You got to eat? Come on, I've got a grateful client in Chinatown. He's paying me off in chicken wonton.
Hold it! Well, glad I caught you both. I want to talk to you.
It's a very interesting line of defense you're taking out there. The victim is the aggressor is the victim. That's very original. Frank Galvin, peace-loving citizen, benevolent father and friend. That's marvelous. You really think the jury's going to buy that?
Why not?
I intend to start tomorrow's cross-examination with this. In 1946, under the name Eddie Geist, Frank Galvin was convicted of extortion and served 3 years of a 10-year prison sentence in Joliet. Obviously, your client neglected to give you his full biography.
None of this was in the file when I saw it. Do you know we can move for a mistrial?
Are you accusing me of withholding evidence, Counselor?
The fingerprint check I saw was clean.
Under the name Galvin, it was clean. But 2 days ago, I got a call from Chicago. Someone had seen his picture in the paper and identified him, so we ran another check. Now, nothing in the book says I have to give you evidence before I know about it. I'm not that cooperative.
Now, look, I have what I think might be a helpful suggestion. I think at this point the state would entertain a plea of voluntary manslaughter. Minimum sentence, he's out in 18 months.
You're kidding, Vincent.
Jesse, you know me better than that. Anyway, talk it over with your client. Whatever else he isn't, he's a realist.
I owe you an apology. You said Frank was lying. Funny. It can happen 1,000 times. And every time, you're surprised.
You must have been plenty scared not to tell you. 3 years in the pen, a month, a week, you don't forget it. You try, but you can't. I know, I've been there. An all-time switch, isn't it? Me explaining Frank Galvin.
Life is full of surprises.
What are you going to do?
The only thing we can do. Offer Frank the deal.
A street corner punk who thought it was smart to pack a gun, squeeze nickels and dimes out of a bunch of scared rabbits. You looked into their eyes and you forgot how scared you were. And that gun filled more than your hip pocket. Made you bigger, braver, smarter. Till you're in jail. Then you're nothing. Dirt. Less than human. 3 years. In there, it's 50. I came out without a dime or any hope till I met Stella. Oh, I never kidded her. I told her what I'd been and what I wanted. First, I just wanted to breathe in air. Look at a tree. And then I wanted a job, any job, any place they'd let a con through the door. All this, all these trimmings, that came later, a whole lot later. I don't know, maybe I'm still trying to prove I'm bigger and smarter. Anyway, I'm richer. So that's about all there is to that, and why I didn't tell you or Chris or anybody. I'm not trying to cop out. I just know one thing. I'm never going to sit in a jail again.
Then we'll tell Kegel no deal. I'm glad.
Tomorrow. He is going to spill all this in court. You can't stop him.
Under the law, it's admissible, Frank.
Under the law. What are my chances?
There are no guarantees, Frank. We've built a good case, but it's your word they have to believe.
The word of a felon?
No. The word of Frank Galvin.
I thought if I said who it was, you wouldn't come.
I'm working. I have to go back.
I won't keep you long. I'm going away.
Away? How can you go away? What about Mother?
She's going too.
Where? I don't understand.
You will. Tomorrow. I don't know what happened to us, what I did wrong. Just don't hate me. Don't hate yourself. That's the worst.
What else did he say? Chris.
He said that life was too good to spit in its eye. I don't know what to feel anymore. I'm all mixed up.
Chris, help me. Did he say where he was going?
No, but I think he's taking his plane.
Where are we going?
Van Nuys. Stella.
I'll see if Frank's in the office.
Stella, do you know what you're doing?
Frank knows.
And you're gonna let him?
It's what he wants. I love him, Jesse.
Well, that doesn't mean denying what you feel. Sometimes it's more important to say, no, you're wrong.
I can't do that. I can't tell him to go back to prison.
How do you know he'll have to?
I'm not going to take that chance.
Frank, if you get on that plane, you'll be violating your bond. They'll issue a bench warrant for your arrest. You'll be a fugitive.
My book, I'll be free.
For what? A life on the run always looking over your shoulder?
We'll survive.
Survival isn't enough.
Let's go, Steve.
Frank, you know what you're doing. You're throwing away 30 years.
Hard years, Frank. Good years.
Tomorrow, a man is going to blow those years sky high by asking one question. Have you ever been convicted of a crime? What kind of a rotten system is it? Makes a man pay and then blackmails him the rest of his life?
What do you want me to say? That it's perfect? No injustice, no inequities? I've spent 20 years in it. I've been disappointed, frustrated, angered. But I wouldn't want to live in a world without it. It's too good to spit in its eye. What about Chris?
She'll be taken care of. I've seen to that. And your fee, make it as big as you want. You'll get it. I didn't mean...
You never mean, do you? You pay for everything.
I don't need any advice from you.
You don't need anything from anybody because you're still a punk, Galvin. A gutless hood. You better run, man. You better run and fast. You got a bomb to drop, you may as well do it on time. You are going to tell the judge, aren't you?
Not until I have to.
Why? You expecting him back? Well, then what's the point?
I just like to play out the hand.
Please rise. The final 120 Superior Court, State of California, County of Los Angeles is now in session. The Honorable Randall E. Berkeley, judge presiding. Please be seated and come to order.
And Mrs. Fitzgerald.
Your Honor, our client seems to be late.
Mrs. Fitzgerald, I travel the freeways the same as everyone else. I don't see why we cannot start on time.
I appreciate that, Your Honor. There's no answer at his home. I can only assume he's on his way. However, there's a matter of some importance that we'd like to discuss with you and opposing counsel in chambers.
Very well. There'll be a recess of 10 minutes.
A felony over 20 years old, it's ancient history.
A felony is never ancient history.
What is counsel saying? Once a thief, always a liar?
What we're concerned about is the prejudicial effect on the jury.
Mr. Pride exaggerates.
Then why did Mr. Cagle offer us a settlement yesterday?
Your Honor, I suggest that my eminent opponent isn't seriously
What do
arguing
you mean
this
I'm not
issue at all. I
seriously
think her
arguing
client
this issue?
doesn't intend to show up, and she knows it.
Is this true, Mrs. Fitzgerald?
If that was the case, Your Honor, we'd be asking for a mistrial.
Now, Mrs. Fitzgerald, you know the gravity of withholding any information you may have in relation to your client?
I'm aware of that, Your Honor.
With a prior felony, there may be some danger of prejudicing the jury. I don't like it. I've never liked it. But with the present law, I have to admit it. Now, I will take special pains in instructing the jury. Do you understand that, Mr. Cagle?
Your Honor, if the defendant fails to appear, it's really academic, isn't it? As for mistrial, counsel, forget it.
I'm sorry, Your Honor, but Mr. Fitzgerald's client asked me to interrupt.
My client?
Mr. Galvin, he said to make his apologies. He took the wrong turnoff.
Depends on the way I love thine eyes. It's an easy mistake.
I'm glad you're here, Frank.
Wish I could say the same.
Mrs. Fitzgerald?
Your Honor, I'd like a moment to confer with my associate.
If it can be brief.
Now, I know what you're going to say. Introduce the felony ourselves and take the play away from Cagle. It's the only way to fly.
One more thing. You take the direct examination.
No, me and Galvin. No, that's bad chemistry.
Maybe that's what we need. No more coddling. Straight to the nurse.
But on the stand, it's a big gamble.
I'm willing to take it. How about you?
Boy, are you something. Defense calls Frank Galvin.
What is this?
Trust me, Frank.
Raise your right hand, please. Do you solemnly swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
Please be seated. State your name and spell your last.
Frank Galvin, Galvin.
Galvin, is that your true name?
No.
What is your true name?
Eddie Geist.
And when did you change it?
When I was 24.
Why?
I spent some time in jail for a felony.
What felony was that?
Extortion.
Since then, you've lived under the name of Frank Galvin.
Yes.
And have you ever been in any kind of trouble since?
No.
Now, Frank, will you please tell the jury exactly what happened on the afternoon of June 19th?
I drove over to the job. I was sore. I don't deny it. I waited down below. I don't know how long. He was still up there. And I couldn't wait any longer, so I got in the elevator and went on up.
Excuse me, Frank. At that time, did you have a piece of pipe in your hand?
Yes.
Do you remember what you did with it?
When I got out of the elevator, I threw it away.
Why?
I was afraid I might have used it.
Go on, Frank.
Well, he was up there like he was waiting for me. I told him he was through.
He laughed. He said that wouldn't keep Chris away from him. He said things about her. I couldn't listen. I grabbed him, but he got me first. I went down.
And did you get up? Frank, did you get up?
No,
Why not?
I don't know.
He struck you, knocked you down, you didn't get up. Why not? You're not through, Frank. Answer my question. Now, why didn't you get up? Will you answer me? Say it, damn it! Say it!
I'd had enough. I wanted to quit. I'd fought all my life. I was sick of fighting. Why is that so hard to say?
And Ray, did he let you quit, Frank?
He wouldn't let go. It was like he was high, not on drugs, on his own juice.
Come on, get up. Come on, old man, get up. Up on your feet. Come on, get up. You asked for it. Come on, get up. Get up and fight. Afraid to get up? Afraid to show me how tough you are? Come on. You're yellow, old man. You're yellow right through. You were going to beat me up. Come on, let's see you do it. Come on. Not over there where it's nice and safe. Out here where I live. Out here where it's...
2 men alone. 2 men alone. 2 men alone. 2 men alone. 21 stories up. One of them is here to tell us most dramatically his version of what happened on the afternoon of June 19th. The other one, unfortunately, is not here. But ladies and gentlemen of the jury, he has those who will speak for him. He has his friends who disavow the brilliantly fabricated portrait of a psychopath which opposing counsel have described for us. We have a parade of witnesses who have sat here and described the violent angers of Frank Galvin. His own daughter sat here who believes her father would have done anything to stop her affair with Ray Carson. And finally, Frank Galvin himself, who with the one breath asks you to believe that he was just an innocent bystander, and in the next confides that he is a convicted felon who served 3 years in a federal penitentiary for extortion. And let me remind you, ladies and gentlemen, extortion is a crime of violence, and so is murder.
And in just a few minutes, you'll retire to consider your verdict. Before you do that, the judge will instruct you that Frank Galvin's conviction 25 years ago has no bearing whatsoever on whether or not he's innocent or guilty of the crime he's charged with today. The judge will tell you to forget that conviction. It's the law. But can you do that? I'd like you all to close your eyes for just a minute. Please, just close your eyes. I'd like you to think of anything except a horse, a blue horse. Do not think about a blue horse. Impossible, isn't it? Just as it's impossible for you to erase this damaging knowledge about Frank Galvin's past from your mind. So don't erase it. Remember it. Remember he spent 3 years in prison. Remember that he lived in a brutalizing atmosphere. Remember that he came out with no job, no money, no hope, no future. 63% of the men who leave prison go back as second offenders. But Frank Galvin didn't. He hauled himself up and he built himself a good life. And he lived that life for 25 years, just as law-abiding as anybody in this courtroom. Very soon, you'll be weighing the issues of fact in this case, one of which is the testimony of Frank Galvin. In doing that, I want you to remember what he was and appreciate what he is.
With those words, attorney Jessie Tate Fitzgerald ended her closing argument in a Los Angeles Superior Court today. The jury retired to deliberate and returned in a record 50 minutes to acquit Los Angeles building executive Frank Galvin of the charge of murder. Our reporter, Carmen Garcia, was at the county courthouse when Galvin came out of the courtroom.
Oh, Mr. Galvin, I'd just like to have a statement, please. Just before you go home, congratulations.
Thank you.
Mr. Galvin, how do you
feel? I feel great. I feel like I've just been handed my citizenship papers.
What are you going to do now?
Congratulations, Frank.
I know, thanks. Go home, maybe no. We're going to go to a little place across town and have a cup of coffee.
Do you have anything to say, Mrs. Galvin?
Hey, here's Mrs. Fitzgerald.
Oh, my goodness.
Fitzgerald, please, can we have a statement, Mrs. Fitzgerald?
I said it all in court.
Was it one of your tougher cases?
Well, they're all tough, but this time I had some great help.
What's up next?
A commercial, I'm sure.
The news of the day will continue with sports and the weather and a special report from our Washington correspondent following station identification.
Cleaning house? You left in a big hurry.
I wanted to catch you on the instant replay.
Sorry you missed Cagle's parting shot. Delivered with all his usual charm and grace, all adding up to the admission that the best man had won. You're a first-rate lawyer. But you know that. It's part of what makes you good.
If I didn't know better, I think you were setting me up for a touch.
We never did discuss that fee, did we?
Oh, don't worry. I'll bill you.
Any cases coming up?
200,000 crimes in L.A. alone last year. The odds are with me.
I thought I might call on you again sometime.
Sure.
Well, if you ever want to borrow a law book or a cup of sugar, you know where I am.
Top floor.
Good night, Gus.
See ya.
This is ridiculous. It's stupid. There's no single reason why we...
You might as well sit down.